is Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. A cold day, and you can see there's snow on the ground. We're about to take a ride on train 906 out to Greenport. Should be a nice ride. Snow on the ground. I've always wanted to get a snowy ride out to Greenport, but last year I tried, but we just didn't have enough snow to make that possible. Today we got about 3 or 4 inches on the ground in many places. Well, here's our train, 906 to Greenport Scoot, DE30AC 407. I believe he has a K5 LA horn, and they must have swapped this out from yesterday, because yesterday the Scoot had engine 404.
The train is going to Greenport. It makes stops at Medford, Yape, Riverhead, Montauk, Southold, and Greenport. Please watch the closing doors. Eastbound train to Greenport.
All right, 11:58, departing Ronkonkoma. Yeah, you can see the snow out there. This ride is sort of like in 2 parts. From here to Riverhead, it's mostly going through pine barrens. But then east of Riverhead goes through like sort of rolling prairie type country, which would really look good with the snow. They are really building up out here. There's some new residences by the train station, plus these. Interlocking here is KO. Ronkonkoma has the largest MU yard located on Long Island, mid-Suffolk Yard. It's even bigger than Babylon. Knickerbocker Avenue. You heard the K5 LA on that 407. It's not bad. Yeah, we're supposed to get a little more snow tonight. Another 2 or 3 inches maybe. I have some commitments tomorrow, and I have some commitments on Thursday, so today was really the best day to do this week. This is Holbrook. Outback, one of my favorite places to eat. Love their bread. Their Aussie Cobb salads are pretty good too. There's some wag out there that's probably going to say you're eating fake Australian food. Well, I like to go to Olive Garden, and people get on my case about eating fake Italian food, but it sure tastes good. That position light was a distant signal to KO. pretty friendly crew on this train. Indeed, these Greenport Scoot jobs are fairly relaxed jobs. You don't have the crowds and the hustle and bustle like you do further west. It's more like a rural branch line operation, Long Island style. This area is Holtzville. There's North Ocean Avenue. Okay, we're coming into Medford. That road below is New York Route 112, Patchogue, Port Jefferson Road. This is Medford. Stop is Yip Yip Yaphank. Yeah, 407 has a decent K5LA horn. I wasn't after the K5LA horn today. I wanted to just take a ride on this train through the snowy countryside. Before we get to Yaphank, you'll see the expanse of the Brookhaven Terminal. It's a rather substantial freight yard out here. I wonder if that Yankee fan is working as the yard engineer today. Who knows? Maybe I'll see him at the Eagles Parade in Philly on Friday. I kind of doubt it. Hey, you'll see what a big facility that is. It's coming up. Also see New York and Atlantic train RS-70 out here. He usually goes out to Yaphank. He parks in the siding at YA. He has to run out ahead of this train and get out of the way of it. The RS-70 and RS-71 have a much harder time going out to Riverhead to switch Paraco gas during the day. These days, as there's more trains running out towards Riverhead. That's exactly what I was going to say. Just do a search for a Riverhead train station. That's how I find train stations. All right, here's the terminal right here. That was Sills Road we went under. Yeah, this is quite a large place. Yeah, I don't see any sign of a switcher.
Well, I'll see what more I can find out.
Yaphank. Yaphank was where people went to go to Camp Upton, where they were processed out during World War One. East of here was a spur that went up to Camp Upton. You'll be able to see part of it. The east leg of the old Y. Where that Y joins up with the main line is Upton Junction. Alright, let's see if RS-70 is sitting in the siding here at YA. Don't see him out here. Maybe he ran out to Cleats Lumber in Huntington. They do that sometimes. They run the train to Duke Interlocking and East Northport, run around the train there and head back west to switch Cleats Lumber. This is where we enter the Pine Barrens. Structure was that back there? Let's keep an eye out for that Y at Upton Junction. Should be able to see the east leg of that Y. It's east of the William Floyd Parkway. That's what we just went under. Can't really see it. the Long Island Expressway. Unless it's east of that. Let me see. I forget. But I know you can see it. There it is. I saw the west leg of the Y. That's the Y right there. Here it is. Okay, you can see both legs. It's kind of hard to see in the summer when the leaves are out, but now you can see it real good. You can plainly see where the Y is. Camp Upton is used to be, well, today, Brookhaven Laboratory occupies that site. The heart of the Pine Barrens here. Okay, right here we're passing the former site of the Manorville station. It was here until the late 30s, I think, late 40s. The Eastport branch diverged off for this line going to the right. Headed off down towards Eastport and joined up with the Montauk Branch. I was here a few years ago trying to see remnants of the old right-of-way. don't really make it out too well, but about 20 years ago I was down closer to Eastport, and a friend of mine and I went into the woods behind some development, and I found a milepost. This really looks pretty. It'll get better. East of Riverhead, it sort of looks like the Midwest. Pretty soon you're going to see another spur that heads up towards the old Grumman facility. There are some other industries there that the New York and Atlantic switches today once in a while. It's an eastward facing Y, I think. Should be able to see it. Yeah, Long Island is not all suburbia. There it is. There's the Calverton Spur. Switched by the New York and Atlantic. Going east, they'll typically back up the siding to the industries by Grumman. And when they're done, they'll reassemble the train and pull down here and head east. What they usually will do at Calverton is, if they haven't already, they'll have an engine at each end. That way, if he doesn't need to go further east, he can head back west because he wouldn't be able to run around his train too easily. Usually what they did when they switched Paraco gas, you would run east from that spur, double-ended. And then when he gets to Paraco gas west of Riverhead, the westernmost engine would do all the work there. And they'd reassemble the train and head west back to Pioneer. What I've been told, Paraco gas at Riverhead, which was a great spot to watch the switching, is only done at night because of the passenger traffic on this section during the day. When they opened up Grand Central, they added an additional daytime round trip to Riverhead, and it kind of made it very difficult for a freight to get out of their way.
Long Island Railroad Station in Riverhead is located.
At night, there's nothing on this line. The freight's pretty much working.
Yes,
Paraco gas is usually served by the night job out of Pioneer, RS-60 and RS-61 going west.
25, that's West Main Street, and the Suffolk County Courthouse. No. I could give you the number probably.
Okay, this siding here is the block limit station of A.H. Calverton. We're going to pass over Edwards Avenue and pass by the abandoned Calverton station, and the waiting shed is still there on the right side. Incidentally, you'll get a good look at Paraco gas out the window here shortly. There's usually 3 tank cars sitting in there if it's been served. This time of the year, Paraco gas is pretty busy with the rail business. They bring in loads and ship out empties. The oil is brought out to customers in the area by truck. Well, here's the Long Island Expressway.
210
Shortly, the expressway will end.
Center Drive. New York 11901. So that's the Suffolk County Courthouse. And the
See a lot of cold horses out there with their coats on.
north of New York 25 and Suffolk County.
Animals get cold. Don't you feel sorry for animals that get cold? I'll tell you who I really felt sorry for. The hogs that used to travel on the Union Pacific to farm at John's Slaughterhouse in LA.
Once you're
They get loaded onto a train in the Midwest somewhere. They have to go through an agonizing train ride in like open stock cars with lots of other pigs whining and screaming. And what's their reward when they get to their destination? To go to the slaughterhouse and get turned into hamburger. There was one Union Pacific train that was that almost always carried those stock cars, the Farmer John bound stock cars. That was the NPLAZ. It was an expedited piggyback train with the stock cars on the front usually. Ran from North Platte to Los Angeles. Okay, we're going under Route 25. Right at the next crossing, just east of it, is Paraco Gas. See if there's some tank cars in there. There ought to be. Here it is, Paraco Gas. Yep. 1, 2, 3. They probably would be moved out of there tonight by what will become RS-61. We're approaching Riverhead with its many, many grade crossings. As we arrive Riverhead, you'll get to see the Long Island Railroad Museum's display of equipment. You'll see some really historic stuff out there. business done here.
Is Riverhead the next stop?
Yes, it is. Riverhead is the county seat of Suffolk County. Well, his girlfriend or his wife was going crazy trying to find it on Google. You don't look with a street address, you look under just plain Riverhead LIRR station. It's like trying to find something online. If you don't know what the website is, just type in, just scroll down the word what you're looking for. And it will usually guide you to the correct site. Okay, the black limit station here at Riverhead is LV. This looks new. A lot of crossings here. Sweezy Avenue. This place used to be very busy back in the 40s. They used to switch cars of potatoes out of here, and they ran these huge trains loaded with potatoes. And here's some of the equipment here, look. Some P-72s, snow plows, that red caboose, those cabooses are former Mopac cabooses. You saw an old Boston and Maine American Flyer baggage car. It looks like an old MU trail. It is an old Bud M1. M3s look very much similar to the M1s, but there are differences. They have those ventilators that have the ducts on the inside that occupy a seat. These don't have that. There's a additional collection at the museum. There's a little miniature railroad there. Looks like a GP38 cab there. Did you see that? I don't see Neil running his little train around the grounds. Roanoke Avenue. Take that all the way down up north, it'll take you to a nice little quiet beach on the Long Island Sound. It's where I used to hang out whenever I had jury duty and had lunch. Rough track. Man, the train make a racket going through Riverhead with these crossings. But virtually nothing runs on this at night, except the occasional freight if it gets out as far as LD. New York Route 25, which we pretty much parallel near or far all the way to Greenport. Yeah, from here to Greenport is my favorite part of the ride. Probably the most scenic part. Not that it hasn't been good up to this point. But it takes on a total different characteristic. By the site of 4 abandoned Long Island Railroad stations: Aquabog, Laurel, Cutchogue, and Peconic. The Northville Turnpike overpass. County Road 105, aka. Living Water Church. We're in the community of Aquabog. Used to have a station that was abandoned like 50 years ago or something. Where that road crosses the tracks is where the station used to be. Right here. This is where the station used to be. Oh, I left a station out of the abandoned station list, Jamesport. You can still see the remnant of the old platform at Jamesport. Jamesport right here. Now look for the platform. It's there, but snow covered. Somebody I used to work with at British Airways, he was kind of a prankster. He had some uncle who lived out here in Jamesport, and I used to do Ronald Reagan imitations. He used to have me call him up, telling him I was Ronald Reagan. We'd have these long-winded conversations. And he would answer the phone. I called him several times. He used to answer the phone and go, "Oh, hi, Ronnie. How you doing? How's the wheelchair? You're about 200 years old, aren't you?" I'd say, "Well, it's getting very hard to do things anymore." Well, so he never figured out who that was. On one of those first family albums, Ronald Reagan was having a press conference, and some reporter asked him, "Mr. President, we always notice that you always look down at your feet when you speak. Why is that?" They go, "Well, you'd look down too if you owned a horse ranch." All right, this is really pretty out here. It's really beautiful. Where the old Laurel station used to be. An old wooden shack there alongside the road had a sign that said Laurel on it. Well, the next station still exists very much, Montauk. More horses with their fur coats on. traffic limit of K. We're in Montauk. Still a very important stop out here. Stop is Southold, the town seat. The town of Southold, believe it or not, incorporates an island that gets their mail from the New London Post Office in Connecticut, Fisher's Island. You can't get to Fisher's Island from Long Island. You have to go to New London first, take a ferry boat. Yeah, that road paralleling will take you east out along the Sound and out past north of Greenport and continuing straight. It'll take you all the way to the Orient Point Ferry for Connecticut. Shortly we'll be passing the site of the abandoned Cutchogue station. Depot Lane crossing.
Well, I'll see how it goes. I don't know.
This is the former site of the Cutchogue station here. Restaurant on the north or the south side of the tracks here is the Red Rooster. Shortly we'll be going through the village of Peconic. That was the site of another abandoned station. That was more recent. Recent, like almost 50 years ago. A lot of these other stations were abandoned like 50, 60 years ago. Actually, I'll cover the entire ride out to Greenport on this side, and on the way back I'll get highlights showing the south side, which is just as scenic, if not more so. This is the village of Peconic. Southold. The black limit station here has the call letters SD. Crossing is Young's Avenue. Next stop is Greenport. End of the line. Greenport was reached by rail in 1844. It's a jumping off point to catch boats to Connecticut. We can get a train to Boston. If you're going from New York to Boston, that's how you got there. This community we're going through is known as Bikesadon. It's another scenic part of the ride here. A lot of birds flying around that look too big to be sparrows. Look like hawks. passed by the GY black limit signal. As we enter Greenport. We're going to be pretty much on time. We're doing at 1:17. My layover will be brief as they head back west at 1:52. Enough to take a little quick walk around this beautiful town of Greenport. Street. Fifth Street. You'll see some more railroad equipment here. This is sort of an annex to the Long Island Railroad Museum out here. The old freight house is over there. There's an old Long Island caboose, a Pennsylvania Railroad boxcar, snowplow. Greenport. Vessel going from left to right is the Shelter Island Greenport Ferry, part of New York Route 114. And that's Shelter Island in the distance. It's its own township. Town is very quiet on this cold, chilly Tuesday afternoon. It was much more active when I was here right after Christmas. Not sure what that siren represents. It goes off about every 5 or 10 minutes or so. Here's Main Street, Greenport, Route 25. Makes a left turn here and heads off to the north, and then eventually east to Orient Point. It's a charming little town. I don't really want to dilly-dally too much because if I miss the train at 1:53, I'm stuck here until 9:54 p.m. tonight. Yeah, walking briskly back to the station. There's the Whiskey Wind Tavern, which used to be the Rum Line restaurant. I'm not a fan of taking Uber unless it's absolutely last-ditch effort reason. Man, there's a powerful aroma of coffee in the air. It smells good. One place I highly recommend if you're in Greenport for eating and spirits is the Front Street Restaurant. Very good food here. They have a combination Manhattan New England clam chowder, which is out of this world. I guess it's appropriate to have that since this town is more or less in the middle between New York and Boston. Greenport is roughly 96 miles from Manhattan. And as the crow flies, to Boston's about 120. Somebody told me this was an Irish pub, but judging by the name, I don't think that it is. Well, this building is the old Greenport Long Island Railroad Depot building, now the East End Seaport Museum. So, get back on the train after this short visit, because if I don't, it's going to be a very long visit. Longer than I would like. Okay, on the way back, get some of the scenic highlights of the ride back. Between Greenport and Southold. Yeah, we're between Southold and Peconic Village. Just on the other side of Peconic Village. You can hear that lovely cab car horn. Try to overlook the sound of that thing and appreciate more the scenery outside here. Approaching Cutchogue. Show you the Red Rooster restaurant on Depot Lane where the old Cutchogue station used to be. There was the Red Rooster. Like I said, Long Island is not all suburbia. This is what Long Island largely used to look like many, many, many years ago. Even in my own town in Lindenhurst, there used to be woods primarily. Very few houses were there when my father was a youngster. The trolley car used to run right in front of where my house is. Downtown Montauk. Saw the black limit signal there. Okay. Yeah, where the old station used to be. Just past the old station site before that last crossing. The Peconic River out that way. We run parallel to it. We'll come by Peconic Bay, Peconic Lake, actually, west of Riverhead. We're arriving Riverhead, which is the county seat. And you can see the Supreme Court building there. I've gone there a few times for jury duty. Okay, leaving Riverhead, you're going to pretty much see the biggest station building on this line between Greenport and Ronkonkoma. It's not a railroad building anymore. It resembles a lot of stations on the railroad, like Bayshore, Huntington, Mineola, Northport, which is really an East Northport. You can see there are old freight spurs here that haven't been used in many, many years. Trees growing up in them. Here we're in the Pine Barrens around Manorville here. Quite a difference from east of Riverhead. And getting close to Ronkonkoma, we're around Holtzville right here. Okay, coming into Ronkonkoma, here is Mid-Suffolk Yard. Got a spreader here. The biggest MU yard on the island, bigger than Babylon even. Well lit at night. Not much in here now, but tonight this place will be loaded. This yard is enormous. When I think about what it used to look like when I was a kid, this was all woods here. There's storage yard for the diesel trains with just a few tracks and a Y. Interlocking here is KO. There's the washer. There's the parking lot, Town of Islip parking lot for Ronkonkoma. I had to really struggle to find a parking space in there. During the pandemic, I remember you could park anywhere you want. Okay, arriving Ronkonkoma. Right on time, 3:17. Get a little Montauk Branch snow buffing. We're at Oakdale. This is train 76. Jamaica Patchogue, 4:11 p.m. Well, we're at Great River now, and here comes 17 from Montauk to Jamaica at 4:40. Here's 78 departing Great River for Patchogue at 4:44. Wow, 403 has a pretty good K5LL horn. Well, at 5 o'clock, approaching is train 45 en route from Scenic to Jamaica. He'll be stopping here. Yeah, there's not a breath of air stirring. The calm before the storm. We'll probably get a few more inches tonight. road crossing east of Bayshore, 523. We got a trifecta of eastbounds. Here comes 40 from Babylon to Spionk. D30AC 421 with a horn that sounds pretty good. Oh, that was a good horn. Solid blowing. You hear that horn blowing and that style of horn blowing? That only means one thing. Spaghetti in the snow. 536. He just pulled out of Bayshore. Train 18 from Hunters Point Avenue to Montauk. D30AC 419 on the point. That was him. Right, 548, our third and last train we'll see today is train 80 en route from Long Island City to Patchogue, and he's got a train that normally has a good horn, DE30AC 405. Sounds a little bit asthmatic.